It's a beautiful rainy evening here in New Jersey. It's 6:36 p.m. on Wednesday, April 3rd, and that means it is funny joke time. Welcome to Life in the World to Come. It's an advice podcast about surviving the apocalypse, where our listeners submit questions, and myself, Will Wood, and my co-host, Chris Dunn, use our psychic abilities to predict the future and answer those questions. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody, this is Chris Dunn.
Hey, everybody.
Chris, how are you doing today?
This morning, while I ate my breakfast, and for a little bit after I ate my breakfast, I watched the Roadhouse remake starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
How was it?
You ever seen Roadhouse, the original?
Can't say I have.
Me neither. Imagine what it's like. It's like that. It's kind of exactly what you would think of it. The whole film kind of just washed over me. But There was one thing that did jump out, and it was during the ending credits of the film.
Uh-huh.
Was adjusting a thing. It was during the ending credits of the film. And it turned out that one of the bit players, one of the minor cast members who played a kind of thug that Jake Gyllenhaal like throws through a table or something. His name was Catfish Gene. That's it. That's all.
That's really good.
I thought maybe I could say Catfish Gene and we could bat that back and forth. Anything there must be, right? His name, I don't know if it's his given name. I'm choosing to assume that his name is Catfish Gene.
Was it ever revealed in the text of the film?
No.
You don't
understand.
This was only supplied by the.
Okay. You don't understand. This was not the name of the character, Will. This was the name of the actor portraying the character, the real man. There's a real man. There's a real man Gene walking out there. There's a fucking writing checks with the name Catfish Gene.
Oh, I love that.
It's great. It's just good. I spent 2 hours watching that movie, and that was the only funny thing I could pluck from it.
What if it's not Catfish Gene?
Okay.
What if it's Catfish Jean?
It might be, actually.
Like, was it Gene or Jean?
It was Jean, so it might be Catfish Jean.
I like Catfish Jean.
This guy has intense Mardi Gras energy, and I love him.
I can't think of a single more Bayou-ass name than Catfish Jean.
This guy is throwing beads at naked women left and right. This guy rules.
Oh, I love that. He's like that firefly that falls in love with the moon in that Disney movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet that character's name is Catfish Jean.
Yeah.
I wonder if he played the role of that firefly in that movie, if that was the voice actor there. I bet it was.
My instinct was absolutely not.
No?
No, like, you should think it's like...
But his name is Catfish Jean.
You know what the thing about this movie is that it was not a low-budget movie.
Okay, but this guy...
where
are you going to go for... Where are you going to go for a more authentic Cajun accent than from somebody named Catfish Jean?
Well, here's the thing. Maybe he was, but my instinct was no, because, like... This movie, again, it could not be that low budget because it had like Jake Gyllenhaal, Post Malone had a cameo right at the beginning.
Okay.
Then Conor McGregor is in it.
What the fuck?
Being kind of like a Boba Fett. Like he's like
Okay.
he can't act that good, so they're just like, be the most cartoonish villain you could possibly imagine being.
Right.
Like he's has this like cartoon, like honestly, like there are elements to his character where it just kind of felt like Conor McGregor being like, you know what I think personally would be cool? Let me do. What if, like, the first time you see my character, he jumps out of a window in Italy and he's nude because he just finished fucking this girl, and then And then like he's like walking down the street just naked, confident,
Wait,
just doing his little Conor McGregor walk.
Is that actually
this
in this
is all a
movie?
thing that happens in the movie.
Wait, seriously?
This is we first meet Conor McGregor's character. He's in Italy and he jumps out a window and he's nude because
Why does he jump out a window?
Well, assumingly he was having sexual relations with some kind of woman he wasn't supposed to do, and so he's out and then he gets called by a mob boss and he's naked. And he's like, what are you doing right now? And he's like, clothes shopping. And then he headbutts a guy. And then it like cuts away and then it cuts back and he's wearing the guy's jacket and like the whole market behind him is burning. And it's like, and just so we're clear, like that is not like the tone for the rest of the movie.
Okay.
Like the tone of the rest of the movie is like kind of like it's violent. It's like an action movie, but it's not like that. It's not like this insane, like James Bond villain. Like, it's just not that movie. And then Conor McGregor is just in there being like, what if I was fucking... Who's the bad guy from No Country for Old Men?
I don't know.
What if I was that Javier Bardem character, but for dumb people?
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I know that I'm way behind here.
Right.
But he gets a call and he's naked.
Yeah.
Where was he keeping the phone?
His shoe.
Oh.
I had the same thought when I heard the phone ring. His phone rings and I'm like, where's he keeping that phone? You showed his full ass. He showed his full ass. Where's his phone? And then he reaches down and he takes it out of his sock and I'm like, damn, they thought of everything.
So he's naked but wearing shoes and
yes,
socks.
Yes, he is. He was fucking in his shoes because he's a badass, Will. Keep up.
Okay.
This is what cool guys who are good at sex do, is that they keep their shoes on.
Seriously? I've been taking mine off.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
When I'm taking my pants off, I'll like put my thumb through the leg to get the sock off with it. Just so I can get it in one move.
Now you gotta keep your cleats on so they're for leverage.
Damn.
You know? You don't want to be sliding around.
No, that makes sense.
When you're pleasuring your woman.
No, I do slide around a lot.
Yeah, you're sliding all over the place.
Yeah, no. American football icon Brett Favre hates how much I slide around when we're fucking.
Yeah, but put on a pair of soccer cleats.
Put
on a pair of football cleats next time you and Brett are being intimate.
Okay. Well, he wears them, so now I understand.
Brett wears a full Patriots uniform.
He wears the helmet. It gets in the way of the kissing, right? But it's still...
it's necessary for safety reasons.
Yeah.
You don't want her to get CTE.
No, not anymore. He's got so many. He's just always, slipping and sliding and falling all over the place. It's actually kind of hard.
But anyway, that was Jake Gyllenhaal's Roadhouse.
Okay.
It wasn't that good, but there was a guy in it named Catfish John, and that made the whole experience worth it.
I saw a movie recently that needs to be seen by everyone.
Okay.
Hold on a second. So, oh wow! Hey, look at that. That's a little closer to what I would have expected. Or rather, it's a little closer to what I would have expected than I expected.
Which is what?
The Rotten Tomatoes score for this film that I saw. Because it's 56.
All right.
And I would have probably thought that the Rotten Tomatoes critic consensus would be more like 106. And then the audience score would have been 6.
Right. What movie is this?
But the audience score is 61. Jesus Christ. Netflix, you've done it again.
There's so much buildup.
What a film. Damsel. It's called Damsel.
Oh, okay.
They decided to make a subversion of the damsel in distress trope.
Yeah.
And which groundbreaking, right? I haven't seen that yet. I mean, except for like Shrek, but otherwise brand new. Earth-shattering. My presuppositions about media have been shattered. What if a woman was a person with agency? Whoa! What matters is that she escapes the cave after all these trials and tribulations and magic and blood and screaming and, implied fractures and all this horror. It's bloody, it's bad, it's spooky and scary, and the dragon's actually pretty fucking cool. She's just got a lady's voice who sounds like she smokes too many cigarettes.
Oh, nice.
The dragon's just like
that, I'm gonna eat all the princesses. I'm coming after you.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that part's pretty good. She just sounds like Ursula the Sea Witch.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, no, the
All right.
dragon's cool. Creatively done dragon. boring everything else. But she escapes the cave, and then her mother, who had been stabbed just moments prior in a meanwhile scene, just rides up into a field near where the cave approximately is.
Okay.
Just happens to be able to run into Millie at this exact moment.
They just kind of run into each other in a field?
Look, the mom's looking for Millie.
Okay.
But she doesn't know if she's alive or dead, let alone dealing with a dragon. And for all I know, if I remember correctly, there's no reason for the mom to have known, like, I better go to that cave and rescue my daughter from that dragon.
You know what? This is the same. Like, anytime there's a scene in a movie where like a kid goes missing and there's like a big search and like they're all walking through a forest just being like Jason, just like yelling Jason.
Yeah.
I always imagine what it would be like if they were just like, oh, I found him. Like if Jason was just there, like they're like in like just some fucking forest because they've looked everywhere else. It's the 8th day, and then they just like, I don't really know what my point is, but just like, what if Jason was there?
Well, in this case, it's what if Jason was in the first place you looked.
Right. It's just like, yeah, problem immediately solved.
And this mom rides up on this horse into this field, and there's Millie Bobby Brown just beaten, bruised, filthy, wounded, covered in slugs.
Nice.
Just like stumbling out of a cave.
Yeah.
And the mom doubles over, having been mortally wounded by a spear.
Right.
And then Millie, they talk for like a second, and then Millie just takes the horse and rides back into the cave. And I guess she suffers in a field. I guess the mom just suffers in a field for a while.
Did she forget her phone? Why did she go back in?
After the other princess who...
Right, okay.
Yeah, I guess in that moment, that's when it's revealed, oh, they have your sister too, or something like that.
Okay.
None of them are actually princesses. It's a whole thing. Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter.
Okay.
The point is, this moment occurs in this movie where the mom, mortally wounded, at least implied to be by the previous scene, rides up into a field on a horse, and her daughter just takes the horse and leaves.
Thanks.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And the mom is fine later on.
Yeah, okay, I was about to say, do we see the mom?
Yeah, we do. I don't know how she made it back. She was stabbed in the stomach.
Yeah, and it's like the fucking 1200s.
It's a world before medicine. She is dead.
Yeah, it's like, let's put some leeches in that and see if it fixes it.
It definitely hit vital organs. She was gutted like a fish.
I don't know. Jake Gyllenhaal gets stabbed in the gut like 4 times in Roadhouse, and every time he just kind of like goes, and just kind of, he's just kind of like, he literally, they make a kind of a joke out of it, but he literally puts a Band-Aid on it. Like,
oh my God.
He puts one of those big Band-Aids on it.
That sounds like,
at one point, he has a flirty moment with a nurse.
Yeah.
Where she's like, do you want me to stitch that up? And he's like, no, I want to remember it. And she's like, all right.
That
what?
Sucks.
Like,
that sucks. If
you're a nurse, you're going to be like,
comedy?
No, it's a fucking... I mean, I guess it has silly little moments, but like, no, it's definitely not a comedy. It's like, it's kind of hard to say what it is. It's kind of just... That's kind of what I meant before when I was like, it feels low budget, even though it can't be, given who's in it. Like, it feels like it's better than this, but it has like the energy of a Steven Seagal film.
Okay.
That's kind of what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
I see what you're saying. Damsel, Netflix's Damsel, ends with the following exchange. They've defeated the evil kingdom. The dragon wins. The dragon burns the whole kingdom to the ground.
Yeah.
Millions potentially of innocent lives lost.
Nice. I love that.
Because the king is a bad guy. I mean, so is the queen. You know, the royal family are bad guys, but the whole kingdom burns to the ground.
The dragon, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, the dragon's the worst one.
Yeah,
dragon,
probably a dragon is
objectively worst one. I
bet the king is. But I'm not a fan of like monarchies. It's just kind of fascism with fancier hats, but
Yeah.
like you know, like I bet the dragon was worse than the king.
Look, they put a little effort into like humanizing the dragon to make you understand the dragon's motivations, and that's all well and good. But the dragon still does genocide at
eats
the
little
end.
girls and burns a million people.
A million people just burns the whole kingdom to the ground,
right?
And accompanies Millie and her family home to fucking Iceland or wherever they were from.
Okay,
and.
She's friends with them after that?
Yeah, at the end, the dragon is friends with Millie.
That's weird.
Yeah. It kind of implies that maybe Millie is a monster too.
Yeah, it's kind of like, we're going to kind of Hitler. Like, so I'm guessing what happened is like they burned down the kingdom because the king was bad.
Yeah, and the queen and like
the queen
everything. There was no king. It was just the queen.
Okay, the queen and the
just
king.
the whole royal system was
royal system was bad, but then
evil.
also all the peasants and like the guys who like clean out the latrines and stuff, they all also burned to death.
I mean, I assume
all
so.
Right,
if you saw it, you'd be like, that's too much fire.
And you said that Millie Bobby Brown wasn't a princess. Because this sounds like the kind of thing that an actual royal would do.
No, she's not actually a princess.
Okay.
She gets conned into being a phony princess so that they can feed a quote-unquote princess to the dragon. Yeah, they're tricking the dragon.
Well, you know, she did a good job pretending. Because that's... it kind of sounds like you'd fucking killed a million people because you didn't like this one family.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what happened. Yeah, and look, this one family was evil. They were brutal and horrible, and they were terrible, terrible rulers, and that should not be ignored. But there were just so many people caught in that crossfire.
That's the thing is that like you don't have to. You know what the thing is like you can just show the castle burning.
Yeah,
you just show just the castle burning.
They showed the whole city.
Yeah, you can't do that. You kind of undermined yourself there.
Yeah, whole city burning.
I'm not. You want to end a story with a whole city burning? That's fine, but then you can't like have them go to Iceland and be like, I guess everything's fine. Like it's not. They like
what I'm about to tell you will fully illustrate the entirety of the film.
Okay.
As much as anything else possibly could. Yeah. I could give you a beat by beat of this film. We could sit down and watch it, but you will see the entire movie in your mind's eye when I tell you that as the dragon and Millie and her family are sailing off into the sunset, the captain of the boat goes, "Where are we going next?" And then Millie looks off into the horizon. Yeah. The camera slowly pans in toward her. The music swells and she goes, "Home."
I'm gonna kill myself.
Isn't that the most fucking chat GPT ass ending for a movie you've ever heard? They literally had her go. Where to next? Home.
Fuck
you.
Yeah, where are we going, boss? Home. She looks directly at the camera. It circles in on her like Porky Pig.
It's
the way that you use it. It comes in and go.
It might as well have been that. It really like. Or it could have been a freeze frame and then "Don't you forget about me." Like it felt like exactly. A joke. And these people have the fucking audacity, to tell me that this is a real movie made by human people. I saw a brilliant movie the other night that had a similar sort of methodology in one of the lead actresses.
Yeah.
It's a film called Let There Be Light.
Okay.
It's a Kevin Sorbo movie.
Oh, nice. So intense Christian undertones.
Oh, not undertones.
This is a Christian film.
Overtones.
This is explicitly Christian.
Explicitly
film.
Christian
nice,
film.
Dude.
It's a Pure Flix film.
Oh, I love Pure Flix.
The makers of God's Not Dead and God's Not Dead 2 and God's Not Dead 3.
I love when that college professor gets hit by a bus.
That's Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, I know. I love when Kevin Sorbo gets hit by a bus and the fucking priest comes up to him and is like, "You're going to fucking hell. You gotta commit." It's like the fucking cool, relaxed guy, fucking priest character who's like his whole thing is how cool and relaxed he is. Just fucking
runs up to this dying man,
and it's like, if you don't become a Christian right now, you're gonna go to hell, dude.
And Kevin Sorbo's just like, okay. Fine. And I want you to know that this movie is just a slightly different paced version of that exact moment.
I can only like the whole thing. Like
the entire movie is all right. So Kevin Sorbo plays a Richard Dawkins stand-in. And he's like debating Ken Ham.
He does a lot
in.
of that for Pure Flicks.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He does and he talks about how sex, drugs, rock and roll is better than Jesus. He's just put out a book called Aborting God.
That rules.
He says
can I get that prop sent to my house?
Can I get that book?
It doesn't exist.
I know, but that sucks. It should.
Let's make it. Let's do it, dude. Fucking new merch just dropped.
And what happens is Kevin Sorbo, his character is a miserable drunk.
Right. Yeah, of course. Because he's never met God.
And because I imagine that role comes easily to Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah.
Look at the man.
He's a
pillhead.
He does, yeah.
He's a pillhead.
Is this a true fact? Yeah.
It's a fact that I just came up with.
I can see
a fact that I'm going to get sued for saying.
Things I know absolutely nothing about Kevin Sorbo outside of his Pure Flicks films. But he does, like, just looking at him, like he's kind of like, he's thin in a way. Where it's like,
I don't know shit about Kevin Sorbo. Please don't sue me.
Kevin Sorbo makes movies in a way where it feels like he's making something up to God. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
Like he did something and this is his penance.
Just gonna really quick Google Kevin Sorbo allegations. See what pops up. Yeah, he's a miserable drunk who gets into a drunk driving accident.
Okay.
And he dies temporarily, and he sees his dead son who died of cancer. And when he has a crisis of faith in reverse. And he starts believing in Jesus very slowly, and he goes to see his ex-wife's pastor, Pastor Vinny. Pastor Vinny used to be a gangster. Pastor Vinny did 15 years.
I will say, in the Pure Flicks films, the only characters who are even vaguely relatable is like there's always like a cool priest. There's like a cool priest with like a convertible, and he like likes movies or something.
No, not Pastor Vinny.
Not Pastor Vinny.
Pastor Vinny is a pointed and seemingly vaguely hateful,
right? Okay,
but probably well-intended Italian stereotype of a mobster.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay,
who did 15 years, 3 of them in solitary confinement, where all he had was a Bible. Yeah, that's how you get pastors. If you are put in an empty room with nothing but a Bible for 3 years, you will become a pastor.
You just got MK Ultra'd into being a pastor.
You have no choice.
Right. It's like, and the weird thing is that like there is always like an amount of time spent on like how beautiful the universe is, and like how you know,
not this one.
Yeah, again.
Okay, no, sorry.
In some of them, there's like a little bit of time, but ultimately, I'm gonna agree with you though. Like, there's always like a little time, like like the universe is beautiful and like isn't like this an incredible creation that we're all a part of, and isn't Jesus's love good?
Yeah,
that's like when they do include that. That's never what changes Kevin Sorbo's mind.
No.
It's always him getting hit by a truck and being told, you're going to go to hell. You're going to hell now. If you don't believe in God. Believe in God, you're going to hell.
That's exactly...
And then he believes in God.
That's basically... In this movie, that just happens in slow motion. And then at the end... him and his ex-wife get back together. They realize, oh, here's a great way to show God that we believe in him and he's good, and that we're all the faith.
Yeah, he's gonna hit me with a fucking truck again. Oh God!
They develop an app.
I gotta make sure that God knows I'm a good guy, so he's hit me with a fucking truck again.
They develop an app where that helps them all organize so that millions of Christians across the globe all shine their phone lights at the sky at the same time, to make a band of light that goes around the world. And then his wife gets cancer and dies on his shoulder while Sean Hannity watches.
Well, wait, Sean Hannity
is...
He's in the movie.
Sean Hannity helps develop the app.
It's like it's so weird. There has to be like a specific name for the emotion of like shock that comes with no surprise. Where it's like, that's like, I didn't see that coming, but like as soon as I had that information, it slotted perfectly in with the rest of it. Like, of course he's in the movie.
I'm gonna call that sensation. You know how they have that like what is that? The dictionary of Yeah, they have that thing where they make a dictionary of things that aren't that don't fuck, I can't think of what it's called.
Urban Dictionary?
The Dictionary of Obscure Emotions or something like that.
Yeah.
You know where the word sonder came from?
Okay.
Yeah, it's that a new entry to that, whatever it's called.
Right.
Sorbo. That's the emotion, is sorbo. When you're shocked in a way that comes as no surprise.
Right, exactly.
You know, like when Sean Hannity helps Kevin Sorbo develop an app so that they can tell God that they believe in him while Kevin Sorbo's wife dies of cancer on his shoulder.
Honestly, but that is actually very hilarious. The idea that like someone would come to Sean Hannity and be like, I have an idea for an app. We're all going to shine our phones at the sky. It's going to be a big halo around the earth so that God can see it. It's Sean Hannity's like, here's $10 million. That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
It's so good.
It's such a stupid idea, and the fact that Sean Hannity is like, and I believe in this.
As Sean Hannity is helping
He's
them
playing himself, I bet, right?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, that's what he's...
No, it's just Sean Hannity.
So if I came up to real life Sean Hannity with this idea, like
theoretically,
the implication is that.
Yeah.
Or what were you about to say?
I'm just saying that as Sean Hannity is broadcasting this message to the world and showing video taken from satellite of all the lights across the world shining so that God can see it. As that's happening, Kevin Sorbo is with his ailing wife, who is dying of the same cancer that killed his son. Just because God is good.
Because God's good. He's a good guy. He does good stuff.
She's, you know, she's got like the head wrap on. She's looking all skinny. She's like falling asleep against his shoulder. He's like, "Look at that, honey. We did it." And she's like,
It's beautiful.
eyes closed. She's not seeing anything. She's dying. We watch her die before our very eyes. And this is like a good thing that happens right in front of Sean Hannity.
Her last words, "It's beautiful," were only for his benefit. Like, she died lying to him.
I think that it was supposed to be implied that she was seeing the same light of heaven that he saw when he had his drunk driving accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, I guess.
Doesn't that make it like a good story with a nice moral?
Yeah, I mean, I get, like, it's weird. Did they talk more about why she had to die?
She had cancer.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I guess it's like, you know, I guess it makes sense that that's the message. In a world where there is self-evidently no God, that in your God is real movie, you have to be like, yeah, and sometimes you just lets your wife get cancer, even when you build a really cool app that everyone loves. Like, you build a big app for them, and he still kills your wife and kid, and you get hit by a car.
Well, but it's
like,
okay.
It seems like a bad sales pitch.
No, but it's okay because she goes to heaven, and that's better.
It's better. But you should fucking kill yourself. But don't do it. Oh, I know you want to. You want to, but you can't. Oh, you want to kill yourself so bad, but I won't let you. That's God.
The little finger wag you just gave. Just that, oh, no, you didn't finger wag. Oh, my God. Oh, hey,
we should probably
we've been recording for 42 minutes.
Probably get into the podcast. Yeah, it's about that time.
I tried launching with the kind of energy, with a kind of focused energy, and it was slow, but it was concentrated and it was focused. And I immediately fell apart when we started talking about Roadhouse. Well, you said Catfish Jean, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to focus." And I even said before we started recording, Chris, let's do a good one this week.
I know,
as a fun little experiment.
I know we already messed it up.
Yeah.
Well, let's try to get it back on track.
All
let's
right.
See if we can. Let's get some questions in.
Yeah, you want to open up the Gmail?
Some of those. Let's get some sweet little questions. Oh, this is good. This one's good because it kind of works as a natural extension of what we were already talking about. Hiya.
Hello.
I recently went to see a movie and had a very fun time. In the world to come, what's going to happen to all the movie theaters? Will we still be able to watch movies in them, or will they end up having some other use?
It's going to be used as blankets for giants.
Oh, that's cute. That one's good. And the thing is that sometimes when the giants use it, is that sometimes when the giants use it, you can like you'll set up a little projector. Mm-hmm. The thing is that the giants, they can sleep for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So you can the giant will use it as a blanket, and eventually, just slowly over the time, over many generations, someone will eventually build a projector in front of that giant.
Yeah.
And they'll put like a bunch of like seats and stuff, and build like a whole structure, a whole house for the giant.
And it'll be just like a regular movie theater.
It'll be just like a regular movie theater,
slightly misshapen.
until like one day that the giant is gonna have like a bad time with like its sleep paralysis demon, and it's just gonna start freaking out,
And everybody's gonna die.
and everyone's gonna get crushed, and then that's I don't
And that's also gonna happen.
like there's like I spent so much time building that up. There's got to be some punchline at some point. I couldn't figure out what it was.
Look, I think we just, the answer is just a sleepy giant. Become a movie theater.
You might see what are movie theaters going to be? Mostly movie theaters, but more complicated.
Yeah,
in subtle ways.
Yeah. And it's and like so like movie theater screens are going to have a few different uses, but a lot of them will just be used as movie theater screens. It's just they'll have to be draped over a giant's sleeping form for centuries.
Yeah.
And then at one point, that giant might start snoring, and it's going to ruin your movie. You're not going to be able to hear anything.
You got to give the giant little like offerings of like fruits and different like goat milks and stuff.
And entire goats.
And
fruit trees. It's a big giant.
You gotta give him like little offerings so that like he stays asleep. That doesn't make any sense. Let me revise it real quick.
Don't worry about
I can
it.
figure it out.
Okay, all right.
There was like you gotta well, this is what it is that like you actually here's the thing. This is how it works. I figured it out.
Okay.
Here's the thing is that like you gotta is like the giant's gonna drape this fucking thing over his stomach, right? His little blankie. Here's the thing. What do you got, a skinny giant? What if you got a skinny giant? It doesn't have a big old belly. That thing's just gonna lay flat against it. It doesn't work as a movie theater at all. No, you need to be. Right. And here's the thing about giants: they're fucking lactose intolerant as shit.
That's true.
They can't eat cheese, so you're just gonna fucking give them all the cheese. Just like fucking, just kind of force like different dairy products down there. This is complicated, but it's like the dairy products down their mouth as they slumber. It's gonna give them fucking bananas gas.
They're gonna be bloated.
They're gonna be so bloated, and it's gonna fucking bloop.
Yep.
Inflate that thing.
Yep.
It's gonna be like instead of rolling down the screen at the beginning of the film, you will inflate Garthamax.
Yep. Well, that's the thing that's going to be a major part of this process is that there's going to be the great giant famine of 2772-20. Big year. Lots of numbers in that year. Different calendar. Don't worry about it. It's a long time from now, but not that long. Not as long as it sounds. But there's going to be that famine, and so all the giants are going to get real skinny. Most of the stuff that giants can eat, they're going to go extinct. That's giraffes, horses, goats, all going to go extinct. But we're still going to have plenty of cheese. So what we're going to be doing in order to get these movie theaters to work is while those skinny giants are asleep, starving to death, like Garthamax or whatever the fuck you said.
I just kind of flew by the seat of my pants. Yeah.
Just say it was Garthamax.
Just kind of put some
I
vowels
hope it
together.
was. Wouldn't that be so cool if I got it right when I guessed right there?
You know what the thing is? I think I've named a different fake thing Garthamax before.
It's a pretty.
You're saying Garthamax, and I'm like, I feel like we know him.
I feel like I know that guy. I feel like. In order to keep the Garthamax Cineplex open, the theater technicians are going to hook up hundreds of tiny cheese IVs to his body.
Just gonna pump it into his blood.
Pump cheese into his blood. Get him farting.
Get him to fart. The thing is, like, what you're thinking, like, why not just get a big fat giant? And it's like, there's not enough giraffes for that, you idiot.
Right after the famine.
After the famine, there's not enough giraffes. There's just not enough. So you gotta bloat them. You gotta get them full of gas.
We're gonna run out of giraffes.
So you just gotta fucking like wish on a star that this guy's got IBS, and just give him all the fartiest foods.
Well, we do
just
know
like the
that,
beans and the cheese and the fucking.
But we know that giants are lactose intolerant. So as long as we have cheese, we can keep these movie theaters open.
We can keep doing it.
We can keep showing movies
as
long as we have
cheese. And
cheese.
the thing is, like it is a dying industry.
Oh yeah,
because the giants are starving to death.
Right.
You know, they're huge, and it'll take them hundreds of years, but they will eventually pass.
And the screens
and then
are...
art will be dead.
Yeah.
On that day. and there is no alternative.
The screens are getting all wrinkly, and they're folding up at the
You have
bottom.
any idea how long it took us to think of putting the screens on giants?
Yeah.
Thousands of years.
Which is crazy because nobody thought to like hang them up in any other way.
No, we haven't. Nobody thought of that. No one's going to.
Radiation
Makes
people dumb.
Or just a weird coincidence. I don't know. So what was the question? The question was movie theaters. You put them on a big guy. You gotta pump them full of cheese.
Yeah, that's mostly it.
This is a funnyjunk.com bit from 2003. This is just...
The internet used to be so much better.
It used to be fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
It's still wild, but it's in a less... It's not... Yeah.
In a way that has much more apocalyptic implications.
You know, yeah, like we're there's no more guns left in the valley. You know, the old west is over.
No.
But now the industrial revolution is like well upon us, and we're all getting our hands crushed in steel factories.
And the atom bomb is new.
Right. Like that's kind of where we're at now.
Yeah. Frankly, I didn't need guns in the valley. I just needed no atom bombs.
Right.
And I would have been fine with my hands getting crushed in the steel machinery of 2010
kind of the false
dichotomy
where it's like the internet sucks now. We need to go back to the way it was, where it was just like naked photos of people who didn't know they were getting photos taken of them. and just like on peoplemagazine.com.
Yeah.
Just like
no, I just don't think that we should like make it like sentient.
Yeah.
I think that's like mainly the thing we shouldn't do is make it sentient. And I feel like we're working on that.
Well, relax. We're not doing that. What we're doing is creating a weird sort of like weird Snow White's mirror sort of half-alive facsimile of sentience.
Okay.
Just kind of like a thing that looks like sentience from most of the angles that you look at it from, but fundamentally isn't. Isn't that better? Isn't that less concerning?
You're right.
Don't worry, it's not alive at all. It can just trick you into thinking it is. Relax.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Yeah, creepy.
It's like if you saw Pinocchio while he's like still a puppet, and he was like, "I'm not alive." You know? Like that's what this is. Right
You're
now.
a real boy. No, sorry.
Yeah, he does like the canned response.
I'm a large language model, and I'm therefore incapable of making moral decisions.
Every time he gets caught in a lie and his nose grows, he's like, "I'm sorry, you're right. I was mistaken. Let me try that again."
Oh my God.
So, what were we talking about? Did we move on to a new question? Are we still talking about
go to fucking
movie theaters?
Pleasure Island, just like, I'm sorry. I can't do the bit.
It's like, I need you to know that smoking is actually very bad for your lungs.
Oh, man. Let's take a break.
So let's take a quick break. I'm going to poop.
Let's take like a 5-10 minute break.
And maybe, just like kind of revitalize our vital juices.
Yeah.
Get our vital juices flowing again.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Let's get all our juices replaced in Russia.
All right, let's do this.
All right.
My father was a stilt walker before he died. I always looked up to him. I hate negative numbers so much, I'll stop at nothing to avoid them. Jesus fucking Christ.
Never done that before. Oh
my God.
I'm like lightheaded now.
Yeah, I bet. You're like all red and shit.
I didn't know I had that in me.
Oh my God, dude, that sucked. That was so awful. Wow. Oh my God. I will never do it again. I'll never do it again.
I have like a little bit of a headache now.
Yeah, I so do I.
I really put my whole ass into that.
Oh my god. Yeah, oh my god. It's a good thing you went to the bathroom before doing that. I feel like.
Oh, I would have shit myself.
Yeah, I bet.
I would have pooped my pants straight out.
It's so warm in here.
It's pretty warm, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very hot now.
Yeah, oh my god. Jesus Christ. You want to answer another question?
It's why?
Because we got 1 1/4, and we have been recording for 79 minutes.
Where's my phone? Okay.
We still have not done the podcast.
Yeah, look, once we get to 2 hours, we'll bail and figure out what the rest
Good
is.
Lord, I don't want to record for another 40 minutes. I'm already tired.
All right, we can do this. Okay,
All right.
So
I was about to say, all right, I'm going to stand for this so I have more energy. I don't have that energy.
you can even. Oh man.
I don't want to stand.
Let's just, you know what? Let's just do it.
I'm going to sit on the floor.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the
going
way
to
to
join
do
you
it.
in sitting on the floor.
Join me sitting on the floor.
I
It's
never
a
sit on
different
the
kind
floor.
of. It's less like it's a different kind of energy. It's childlike. It takes this and kind of turns it into something simple.
This does
and casual.
Yeah, it does feel childlike.
Yeah. Let's get into this question here. All right, I haven't really read this. I'm just gonna go.
Where
for
do
it.
babies come from?
Fucking your mom,
Okay.
bitch. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
As the end of the world comes closer, I find myself questioning the ways through which people will connect and celebrate each other and themselves. And I know I'm not the only one. I tried to talk to a friend about it, and they sent me the same question because we're just so curious.
I wasn't paying any attention.
No, it's fine. But
I'm sorry. I got hung up on the fact that you just like totally shat on my. I was gonna yes and the fact that you said it felt childlike, and then you just fucking said your mom when I tried to dig into that, and then I was like, all right, what do I say next? And then I noticed that the calluses on your feet are gone.
Oh no, that's.
Oh fuck! Never mind. All right. Because I was like, oh shit, dude.
Yeah, no,
Did you get a fucking
it's only on the
pedicure or
right.
what?
It's the right toe that has the fucking medallion on it.
Medallion.
The fucking coin that's just kind of growing out of my foot. I just made 12 fake joints and a fake bong for some very important reasons. They got me thinking, well, having a weed in the world to come. We've done this one before.
Fake ones?
Yeah, he made fake weed for some reason. Didn't say why.
Probably as a decoy.
Probably as a decoy to trick cops.
Yeah.
Into
Into arresting him.
It's like, yeah.
He loves being arrested but hates going to jail.
Yeah, he gets pulled over by the cops. They fucking... He's like, do you have anything in you? And it's like, I don't know. Do I? They pin him to the ground and they take like a huge like fucking block of weed out of his trunk. And it's like, do you know what this is? I don't know. Do you?
I
have no idea what his game is.
No, I do.
Yeah.
In the world to come, that's going to come in handy.
Having fake weed.
Having decoy marijuana.
Decoy marijuana.
One, because goblins will smoke your real weed.
It's true.
And if you get goblins in your house, it's like an ant problem. You leave out weed, goblins will get in your house.
They're going to be crawling around it.
Right.
You leave out a joint for 20 minutes. There's going to be like fucking 8 to 20 goblins crawling all over that thing.
And they're gonna smoke it.
They're going to smoke it right
or
down.
Or maybe even just eat it. So if you want to keep your stash safe, you gotta leave out the decoy weed with poison in it.
You gotta leave out the decoy weed with poison in it.
Yeah.
Because when goblins smoke regular weed, it has like a very similar effect to like bath salts
and steroids
and like steroids and mostly steroids
and the big growing mushroom
they get
from
really
Mario.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes them
they
big.
get really jacked
and angry.
They get jacked and angry
and like larger. Like they go from being like the size of like little nublins to full grown people.
Whereas if you give them like the fake weed, which is just like the pure CBD stuff, just like high CBD, then they
just get sleepy.
They get sleepy and they die. They die. They die. I can't do jokes today. Most days I just kind of let my brain go on autopilot, and most of the time it's fine. But like none of the natural intuitive leaps I'm making are that impressive. I think today.
That's great.
They're just kind of
It doesn't matter. What matters is that we're telling the truth to our audience.
Yeah.
That we're gazing into the future. and we're examining our visions, and we're telling them what we see. And yeah, goblins will die if they smoke your decoy weed.
They smoke decoy weed, they die because that's how much they love the good stuff.
Right.
They're real snobs about it. Well, let me be clear. If they smoke your high CBD weed, it's not gonna like poison them. They're gonna be so embarrassed for fucking hitting that weak shit that they'll shoot themselves right in the head on the spot.
Yeah. I mean, their lust for life, their attachment to being alive.
I love this. Yes,
is just tenuous.
Yeah,
extremely tenuous. Goblins are they're not actively suicidal. They're perfectly happy. They just don't really care about dying.
Well, that's the thing, is that they love life. They love life in the same way that the food critic from Ratatouille likes food.
Right.
I love the food critic from Ratatouille because it's such a flexible metaphor.
Yeah.
Like they like life in the same way that guy likes food.
Right.
And if they experience so much as a moment of dissatisfaction, they spit life out.
Right.
You know?
They go, fuck it.
They go fight. They don't want it.
I'm not gonna do it.
They got high standards. Why live at all if you can't only if you can't only smoke the best weed?
Which is why they all carry guns on them at all times.
Right.
In case they need to kill themselves.
Right. Exactly. Like
in case they have a bad joint.
They'll bully you and threaten you. They're not going to touch those guns.
No.
Those guns are for them.
Yeah.
Those guns have a purpose.
That's their escape route.
Right.
You know. Now the only problem is ghosts. Goblin ghosts.
Goblins
ghosts. Leave some really sticky ghosts.
They do.
They don't go. They don't go nowhere. You're haunted as shit if you let a goblin die in your house.
The thing about goblin ghosts is that they die quick, and then they just kind of turn into like a sticky puddle on your floor.
The ghosts die?
Yeah.
The ghosts also
die. The lifespan
quickly.
of these ghosts is very short, yes.
Yeah. And, and they melt and they turn into a gunk.
Right.
And you got a real mess. So now your house is covered in ectoplasm, goblin brains, blood, dead goblins, and fake weed. You got a huge mess going here.
Honestly, like the more we talk about this, the more I'm kind of feeling like maybe you just give them the good weed.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You're right.
Like we're kind of circling around to that. I think you just give them the good weed. Because there's like all this like mess you have to like, just like maybe this is what you do. It's just like fucking I don't know, like tie a bunch of weed to like your dog or something, and then smack your dog on the ass and like have it like run out of your house and just like have it lead them away.
Right.
And you're gonna have to have a lot of dogs, but other than that, I feel like that's maybe the thing to do.
No, you're gonna have to get a lot of dogs together either way. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to get around the world to come because it's all mushing.
It's all fucking
sledding in the world to come.
Hell yeah, dude. Fucking Balto. Remember
you gotta
Balto?
Everybody's gonna be doing full Balto 24/7.
Full Balto, dude. 24.
Only instead of snow, it's gonna be sand dunes.
See, this started as a silly
Sandstorms.
thing, but now it's kind of turning into like a kind of an interesting piece of world building.
No, it's cool.
I would kind of play a video game in this setting.
I told you, man. We've got a rich universe that we're crafting here.
We do, yeah.
You know, fucking J.K. Rowling who? Sorry, J.R.R. Tolkien who? You know, a whole world to play around in.
Hey, why? How come no one's just fucking give us $1 million to take this IP?
Do it
and make and then make a movie out of it.
It's kind of
and then we'll finally be free.
Yeah,
we'll finally be free. Once we make $1 million, the witch's curse finally breaks,
and I can die.
And Will can finally die.
I've been
That's what
stuck
this has
here
been
on this
the
mortal
whole
plane for decades.
In fucking 1998, Will was shot through the head with an arrow.
Yeah,
on a Native American burial ground.
And I've been 30 ever since.
You've been 30 ever since.
I'm not like
the only way to break the witch's curse is by making $1 million through a podcast.
You know, if any of you saw a photo of me in 1998, you'd be like, "Holy shit, this guy doesn't age." Yeah, because I'm stuck in I'm cursed.
No, he's a corpse man.
Yeah,
he's
I'm
a living
dead.
corpse. He's a dead man.
Yeah.
We got to, and he's rotten slow, but he's rotten.
Very slow.
We got to make that $1 million.
I got worms in me.
I got to get this guy here. I don't like the smell. That was rude. That was rude of me to say. I know you can't help it.
And no, I literally,
I'm just trying to help.
I'm full of fucking fungus.
You're full of fungus and worms and stuff.
I got grubs and cordyceps all over inside me. It's not good.
He's got so much makeup on.
He's
wearing so much makeup just to look like a normal guy.
Both of my eyes are fake.
Yeah, both fake eyes.
They are acrylic. And I just wedge them in there and keep them wet with some petroleum jelly, keep me looking alive. What were we
I don't
talking
remember.
about? Oh yeah, goblins.
Goblins.
So
and
here's the thing.
Goblins.
Here's the thing about
fucking fuck yeah, dude. We goblins. I love that. I wish we were always talking about we goblins when we didn't know what we're talking about.
I've been
to not know what you're talking about and to find out that the thing you were talking about was weed goblins. Sometimes life is good.
Yeah, weed goblin is definitely what I'm looking to do tonight. Hell yeah,
dude.
We're gonna gobble it up. So the goblins.
Yeah.
Now the question asker did say that they had built fake joints and fake bong.
This is true.
Not that they had set aside some CBD marijuana.
That's true.
The CBD hemp, which that's yes, goblins are deeply emotionally allergic to it.
But here's the problem. Here's your fucking mistake.
What?
One thing goblins will not abide, it's being lied to.
No.
So you got to make sure that this is a pretty like. Here's the thing, this is the interesting distinction is that CBD weed technically still weed, so it's not a lie.
Right.
The goblins will be upset. They won't blame you.
Yeah.
If you lie to these goblins, you better make sure that this is a fucking flawless deception.
Yeah. Don't make a goblin feel deceived with that
Don't
shit.
make a goblin feel deceived. You don't want to lie to a goblin.
As a matter
They're
of
very
fact,
sensitive.
I would use real weed as a decoy weed for your fake weed.
Right.
That would be safer.
That's a good thing. That's a good idea.
So if you have fake weed that you're going to be using to get off on in order, to trick cops into playing into some sick fantasy of yours, if you're going to be using that, you better keep that well hidden, or the goblins are going to find it and then be pissed.
If the goblins fucking take that fake joint you made and put it to their lips and then fucking spark it up and suck it and find that no smoke enters their lungs. You know what the first thing they're going to do is?
What?
Cry. It's going to be so sad.
Yeah.
They don't deserve this. They're just sweet little guys. They're just sweet little guys. They love having fun. They love life.
Yeah.
They get really disappointed when they get CBD weed and they shoot themselves in the head. Clearly, they're very sensitive.
Yeah.
They have like rich emotional lives.
Jesus
they
Christ.
feel so much.
So don't let a goblin catch you in a lie.
No.
It'll
break their little heart.
And then it'll shoot you.
And then they'll shoot you.
With their little guns that they carry around at all times. And then maybe still shoot themselves because that's a serious trauma they're not going to want to bother living with.
Again, they're so emotional.
Yeah, and they're willing to die at
There's
a moment's notice.
They're so much more emotionally connected than we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just feel everything.
Right, and so, you gotta use your real weed as a decoy.
You gotta use a real decoy. Just give them the real weed. I guess what we're saying. Just fucking stop bogarting the weed, you fucking square.
Yeah.
Honestly, pass that shit around.
Honestly, the more I think about it, the person who asked this question, don't do that.
Right, yeah.
You have fake weed and stuff? Don't.
Stop.
Throw it away.
Get rid of it. Get real weed, you fucking nerd.
And just
smoke real weed.
Yeah, and just I don't know, role play with a partner.
Right.
Don't waste police resources so that you can get frisked and cuffed. Don't do that.
Yeah, we need a follow-up email about what the purpose of the fake weed was. And we probably won't share it on the podcast because there's no way it's interesting. But I would like to know.
I feel like we've probably got it pinned, honestly. But
yeah, it's probably just like it's probably a sex thing.
I mean, most of the time, I feel like it is.
I feel like most things are.
Yeah,
at
least for me.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I love the way you delivered that. I like how you delivered that like you weren't you, but like you were an audience member judging what you just said. Like you seemed like you didn't like it, but you were completely uninvested in not liking it. It's like it wasn't like you weren't sad. You just didn't like it.
I just didn't think it was any good.
All right,
let's do upset over it. I'm just,
I know what you mean. Let's do another question. Let's get another question done. This one's about funerals. I'm sure we've answered that dozens of times.
I'm willing to explore funerals.
I'm always willing to explore funerals. I'm sure we've talked about funerals, but let's do it.
Dude, I go to funerals all the time.
All right. I go to so many funerals. I'm going out of my way to put myself in situations where I'm gonna be going to funerals.
I'm an expert at funerals. Name one funeral I haven't been to.
Sometimes if it's been too long since I've been to a funeral, I start thinking, I think I'm gonna make a funeral.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna organize a funeral.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll go to funeral homes and be like, hey, got any freshies with no loved ones?
Right.
Because I'm looking to throw a party.
I'll mourn it. Do somebody mourn this thing? I'll mourn them right up.
Let's crack that thing open. Take a look at the stiff.
Oh, my God. You start weeping.
Oh, God. What's his name? Richard. Richard! Mind if I throw myself in the casket? Love doing that.
Yeah. It gets more sexual as the sketch goes on. Okay. Okay. Hey, Shane and Ryan. What will...
Wait, which one? Who's who?
I don't know. They didn't say.
Fuck, I hope I'm Shane.
It just says, hey, who's Shane and Ryan?
I hope I'm Shane.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, me too. And that sucks for Ryan, but I agree. Would also like to be Shane.
Yeah.
Hey, Shane and Ryan, what will funerals and mortuary services, such as embalming or cremation or science donations, work in the world to come?
Sorry, run that by me again. I was distracted by trying to figure out who is Shane and who is Ryan.
Hey, Shane and Ryan, what will funerals and mortuary services, such as embalming or cremation or science donations, work in the world to come?
Oh, that's pretty open-ended, you know? That's like a lot, because you're asking a lot of questions. You're asking a lot of different methods of corpse disposal.
You can do with the body.
A lot of things you do with the body. You don't have to do any of those things.
You can do with the body.
Mm-hmm. You can stuff them full of rocks and throw them at somebody as a weapon.
You could do that. You could do that. Then that's just one of 1,000 examples.
I can think of 1,000 more. Yeah.
Let's do all of them.
You can eat them.
Just stuff them full of rocks. Throw them at a person. 2, eat them. 3,
roll them up in a joint. Smoke them.
Roll them up in a joint. Smoke them. 4, fucking marionettes.
That's
fucking
awesome.
5, boat. Make a boat out of them. They float. That shit floats.
Yeah, especially if you stick a bike pump in them and fucking pump full of air.
Fucking pump full of air with a bike pump, like a stick in fucking right in his belly button.
Mm-hmm.
Right in his belly button.
He'll float for sure.
He'll float for sure. Number 6, fertilizer. Number 7,
massage.
Massage
man.
Massage. You can fucking use a bone. You can use one of those you know how those bones have those round parts? Imagine how good that would feel. Just rubbing into the small of your back. And honestly, you can hold that yourself. You can hold it yourself. So it's like a back massager that you can hold, like a back scratcher.
Honestly, I'm thinking...
It does actually sound like it would feel really good.
I'm thinking about the like ball and socket at the end of a femur up against my plantar fasciitis.
Right? That'd be good stuff.
I need that shit. Fuck a Theragun. I'm getting a bone.
The list goes on.
Send me your bones.
Just send them to me.
That's a thing you can do, is you can send them to me.
They'll do it. It's gonna happen.
Actually send me bones. There's laws against that. There's all kinds of laws about sending people bones, and I don't know who gets in trouble if you send me bones.
It's probably for the best.
Not that I've never mailed somebody a piece of a bone before.
Right.
But, like, let's put a cap on that.
Yeah.
You know?
But look, there's lots of...
I stopped sending people bones years ago.
Yeah, this is your dream.
I'm past the statute of limitations on wrongful dissemination of body parts, okay? So... I gotta call my friend Cole. He's been trying to hook me up with a human skeleton for so long. Yeah, and I'll like hit him up like once every year or so and be like, "Hey man, got any bones? I want a whole ass skeleton. Let me see what you got." And he'll send me one. I'll be like, maybe next time. That one's not really my style. Limited choices, you know. He's keeping the real good ones to himself. I know he's just greedy with them bones.
You know, listen. I try to be a good friend and support your interests.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to ever feel bad about the kind of stuff that like you like doing and that makes you happy. Every time you bring up wanting a skeleton, I don't like it. I don't like that you want that. If I walked into your house and saw a human skeleton, I might walk back out. I don't think I want that there. I don't think I want to see what was a guy. Because like here's the thing: if it's a skull, that is a part of a corpse. But it's like it's separate enough. It's like a small thing that you can put in a box, and that makes it feel like an object. You have a whole skeleton that is inches away from just having a dead body in your house.
It is having a dead body in your house.
It's a full dead body.
Yeah, no, that's a full
dead body. It's a corpse.
Yeah,
it's a full corpse.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. I'm a good friend. You follow your bliss. Follow your bliss and do what makes you happy. Follow your bliss and do what makes you happy. And the second you start having weird the second that happiness makes you have like weird sort of thoughts about how you could maybe get more bones, then you stop. Then at that point, I will judge your happiness.
Listen, I have a severe issue with intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
And once in a blue moon, I'll just entertain one. I'll just be like, fuck it. There won't be any consequences for it. Let's try it. And that's how you end up with like so many skeletons.
You do have. I bet there are human remains somewhere in this house.
Oh, there are.
Yeah.
I'll show you when we're done with the.
Yeah, it's probably like displayed somewhere.
It is.
It's like prominently.
You
where
looked at
everyone
it
can
and just
see
haven't
Yeah.
noticed. I'm
Is
sure.
it like that weird vial?
No, that's just teeth.
Okay.
The vial's just teeth.
Relax, okay? It's just teeth.
No.
So I currently live in the most suburban suburbs known to man. And seeing as the end of the world is coming in approximately 12 days, I'd like to know... Oh, I forgot about that.
What?
The, Oh, shit, I wonder when it is.
12 days?
The fucking...
That's...
The fucking Life in the World to Come countdown timer is soon. I think it's like April 4th or something. No, not April 4th. April 15th or something.
The 15th would make sense. That's tax day.
I think it's like 2 weeks.
That'd
it might
be a great apocalypse.
If it's on tax day, that would be pretty funny.
Yeah, that would be the perfect day for it to happen.
We should pay attention to that.
Did we say 2024?
I don't remember.
Well,
Somebody does, but we don't.
All right. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. We should do something for that.
I feel like I've seen a lot of other visions that would suggest that that's not when the world ends,
But we're never wrong is the thing. So
yeah,
I'm sure something will happen.
that's true.
You know? We didn't say it would all fall apart. It might just start that day.
It might just start, or
Maybe-
it might just change a lot.
Maybe we'll start it that day.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe I'll
Maybe I'll finally finish the machine.
and maybe I'll help.
Yeah.
I'm like an Igor type figure in
You
Chris's
are.
laboratory.
You are. Anytime Will isn't being looked at by other people, he hunches down until he's like 4'2".
Yeah.
He just kind of he's bent.
It's that
He's just kind of
scoliosis.
like
I've been
he's
hiding
like, It's so painful for you to stand up straight.
I
The
managed
second
for
you
the,
relax,
for
you're
the
just
fans.
like
I'm a candy cane.
you're a candy cane of
I
a
have a
man.
spine like a candy cane. My head is lower than my chest when I'm not like making an active effort to appear normal.
Is it bad that I can imagine exactly what that would look like?
This isn't my real voice.
Yeah. Give him a taste of the real stuff.
I don't want to. I'm kind of embarrassed.
Honestly,
Maybe we're answering the next question.
No, I do get that though, because it is fucked.
Yeah.
It's a fucked voice, and that feels rude for me to say to you.
No, it's okay.
But I don't like it when you do it.
I can't.
When you speak to me normally, I don't like that.
You know,
I like it when you speak to me in this fake voice.
This is my podcasting voice.
It's impressive that you. So the question is, what will happen to suburbs in the world to come?
They'll burst into flames.
Yeah, dude.
That's my real voice.
So let's see. What is a suburb really? It's like a city, but outside it.
It's
like-
like a herb that gets off on being
is
degraded.
easily dominated. Yes.
Yeah.
And you must become the
Dom herb?
Yeah,
Sucks.
dude. This is what yes and is.
I wish it weren't.
Dom herb.
The problem with yes and is that
There will be no more suburbs, only Dom herbs.
nice, dude.
You're gonna be fucking pumping iron.
Oh,
all these
dude.
all these barbecues, only red meat, only steaks.
Yes, houses wrapped in black leather and latex.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Chains and whips and cats and nine tails flailing.
I was thinking of more just like dominance as a broad concept, but I
No.
like how you focused it. It's specifically
This is
BDSM Dom culture.
this is something I know a thing or two about.
You know what the fucked up thing about the Dom herbs are?
What?
No subs.
No.
It's only dominance.
Well, that's why.
Imagine a society comprised exclusively of dominance without a single sub.
Well, that's why they're constantly going to war with neighboring communities.
Right, they gotta find somebody. They gotta find somebody to sub.
Right. They've got all these guns, and they go to regular herbs. They go to urban areas to try and dom them.
Yeah,
You know,
it
And
doesn't
eventually-
work. They're so disorganized.
Yeah.
nobody's listening to anybody.
because they're all trying to dominate each
they're all
other.
dominating. There's no. Everyone thinks they're at the top of the hierarchy, which means there's no hierarchy.
Right. And also, they're all in the dom headspace, and they're not thinking straight.
Exactly. They're all like they're like if somebody like tries to shoot them, their instinct is just like walk up to them and like smack the gum out of their hand.
Yeah.
And be like, "You're a little bitch."
Call them a bad
But
girl.
then they
or
just
something,
get shot. They just get shot. They they don't miss the second time.
And there ain't nobody there to debrief that bullet out their chest.
That's the thing is that like being a dom only works in a fucking pre or post gun world.
Yeah.
The second guns are brought into the equation, then being a dom becomes what it is today, which is a fucking performance.
I just love it when my just love it when my leather daddy shoots me. that's
It's so kinky. It's like, I'm like, ooh, ow.
He calls me a good boy, and then he blows my fucking brains out.
Did you that? He's fucking splatters your brain across the wall. It's very dark.
I guess so. Yeah, I wasn't trying to. I guess so.
No, I know. I didn't like fucking grok it as dark immediately. But no, this is.
Let's get back to talking about the dom.
Those are the doms. The fucking
your local library is going to be so fucking kinky.
Oh, shit.
Like everything that makes your little suburb so cute and quaint is going to be fucking dirty. Oh, none of them will agree on who the mayor is.
Everyone insists they're the mayor.
That's the problem with the domherb, and that's why they fall apart so easily. Is that they're
one person's like, "I'm the mayor," and then another goes, "Oh, is that what you think?"
Yeah.
Actually, I'm. Is that what? Oh, you think? Oh, yeah.
Is that what you think?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you think?
And then it's just like, yeah, and then it's like a cacophony.
Yeah. And
a roaring
like just
chorus.
300 dudes in leather just go, "Oh, is that what you think?" I'm the mayor, over and over again.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
For weeks sometimes. Once you get them going, it's just a chain reaction.
A lot of times they just end up killing each other.
Yeah.
Or they try to like what's the word I'm looking for? Outdo each other in terms of their diplomacy. And so they just end up in like a really heated but polite debate. Because they're not only trying to one-up each other on who has power, but also who is smarter and more deserving and more diplomatic in order to get it. And it's just like, it's weird. Culturally, it's all over the place. Because on one hand, it's leather daddy culture, but on the other hand, it's like just I'm better than you culture.
Right, exactly. It's a mix of the two.
Yeah, and
it's kind of like culturally, there's a lot of focus on the leather daddy element of it, but as like a broad religion.
Yeah,
which is what it is.
Yeah, the domherbism.
It's like Buddhism is that it's less about the spirituality and more just kind of like a lifestyle philosophy.
Yeah,
but what was I
domherbism?
saying?
Domherbism is a religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember my point.
My
brain is not today.
The point is the point is that the domherbs gonna not be a good place to stay unless you're a very dominant person.
No, honestly, even if you're a very dominant person.
No, you're right.
It's gonna be, again, it's like it's gonna be like the tragedy of being a dom,
right?
Where you're just like, you can't admit that you're uncomfortable,
right?
That's the thing, is that like you have to act like you're the king and that you love it here, but you don't, because no one treats you like the king because they all think they're the king,
right?
You feel small, you feel lonely.
You're weak.
You feel, and you are.
You look like an idiot.
You're wearing. Why put a shirt on?
You're so pathetic.
And that's how they fucking get you. It's like that, and that's how they. That's the thing. The people are going to be saying that to you, and they're going to be looking at. And it's not going to be an obvious thing, right? But like they do have to test. They have to see if you belong in the domherb. So they're going to say stuff like that to you, and they're going to look you in the eyes, and they're going to see if there's any weakness in those eyes. And if there is, a bag will be thrown over your head in the dead of night, and you will be delivered to the suburbs,
right, where you belong,
with the rest of the subs.
Yeah.
And both of these communities would be so happy if they could just come together.
Right, but they can't, because the domherbs are too busy trying to dom each other, and the suburbs are too busy trying to sub each other. Yeah. Which is really weird. That one's worse.
And we don't have to think about it.
In its own unique way, but
you can just kind of use your own imagination to decide what the suburbs look like.
Crawling around in the streets.
Yeah.
oinking.
It's easier to make fun of the Dom-herbs because
Yeah.
it's like easier to make fun of them.
Yeah.
Because they have that aggressive masculine energy.
Right.
But there's something about like aggressive submissive energy that is like hard to argue with. You know what I mean?
Because,
Like, it's
you know,
like-
when it comes down to it, making fun of subs is punching down.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they might
and
wanna
the
be
thing
down
is that
there,
they
but-
know it. Like that's the problem. Is that they know it and they use that against you.
Yeah. In a weird way, it makes them the true dominants, you know?
I've always said this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you have. I'm really quoting you right now.
Which is weird because I don't consider myself a submissive, but I'm very vocally like, oh yeah, no, it's like
Yeah.
Doms have no control.
The ultimate top is a bottom.
Fucking every Dom is at the mercy of their sub. Mm-hmm. You know,
Any decent one,
because the
anyway.
second a Dom is like, the second a sub says no to their Dom, everything that their Dom is doing looks unbelievably idiotic and stupid. Because the second you're like, yeah, fucking bend over and get ready to take my big dick, and they're like, nah, suddenly you have the smallest penis in the world. It's like being aggressive like that only works if it works. If it doesn't work, you're fucking sad.
Well, that's the thing.
Like-
is if you've got giant sails, you need a lot of wind in them.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
You know? And it's really easy to lose the wind in those sails.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you like that, you little slut? Not particularly. Maybe switch positions. Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. You know?
It's gone.
That's it. It's gone.
It's the burden of being a Dom is that you can never show weakness.
Yeah, see, that's what I do, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Is I play the part of a sub so that I can knock the wind out of their sails just to watch them suffer.
I feel like people definitely do that. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I bet they do. This is our worst episode yet.
This is terrible.
Yeah,
This is really pretty bad.
The good news is that we've been recording for 130 minutes. We've been recording for a fucking Marvel movie worth of time.
Wait, like how long?
130 minutes.
So 2
hours and 10 minutes.
We gotta fucking wrap this shit.
One more question.
Let's do one more question.
If we do one more question, we're gonna be so fucking dense with good content.
This is already there's enough in here to do an episode.
All right, let's do one more question.
Let's do one more question just to really
right.
make sure.
And let's get this one.
We gotta end on a high note.
Yeah, we gotta make sure that this next one is our finest work yet.
This is gonna be the finest work we've ever done.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna read this. I haven't read the whole thing, but I'm just gonna read it.
Okay, let's try.
A few days ago, my mom sent me a shit ton of Easter candy as a gift, and I, like a human being with self-control, have eaten most of it in the past 24 hours. This got me wondering, what will Easter be like in the world to come? Will there be any new or somehow weirder traditions to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus H. Christ other than the colored eggs and limbless bunny marshmallows?
It's gonna be all about the eggs, dude.
It's going to be all about the eggs.
You know, I feel like there's like an obvious answer that a lot of people would expect us to go with. You know, something to the
Like
effect like, "Oh,
zombie
the Easter
Jesus.
Bunny's gonna eat you," or "Zombie Jesus."
Yeah, the thing I was
Yeah.
thing I was going to try and subvert was zombie Jesus, but I
Right.
do like this direction that you're taking.
Well, there's also like killer Easter Bunny, zombie Jesus, easy
Right, yeah.
stuff. Really, it's just
it's all about the eggs.
it's about the eggs.
The thing is that like, you look at Easter now and you're like, what does this fucking rabbit, these eggs, have to do with Jesus resurrecting himself from the dead? And let me tell you, 100 years from now, that question will not get answered.
Yeah.
We are going to keep going deeper into fucking Banana Town. Just in terms of like, stretching the metaphor of Jesus returning to life.
Yeah, we're not gonna be talking about the Easter Bunny anymore. We're gonna be talking about badgers, and not even the Easter badger, just badgers in general.
Badgers are going to be a different thing.
Yeah.
A different animal
because
that are called badgers.
Yeah, badgers. You see, badgers eat rabbits, right? And so
Okay.
that's going to be part of the metaphorical thread that ties rabbits to badgers. Is we're going to realize that rabbits are kind of weak and they're pussy shit, and so
Right.
we're going to start worshiping badgers as our idols.
Yeah,
for Easter.
exactly. Because like at a certain point, like Jesus does resurrect from the dead, but then he's eaten by a badger.
Right.
Right. And so it's kind of a beautiful metaphor,
Right.
for that part of the story.
Yeah, it's a part of the story that hasn't happened yet.
Right.
That's the thing. Is like Jesus will return,
Right.
and he'll be eaten by a
Eaten
badger
by a regular badger.
within minutes.
Within minutes, he comes.
He will come back from heaven.
back in like a fucking cave in the forest.
Right.
He like wakes up in the middle of a forest and he's like weak, you know. He's like fucking emaciated. He hasn't eaten in thousands of years, and he kind of just crawls out there, and there's like a badger there, and he tries to like do Jesus stuff on it, and he gets eaten.
Yeah.
He just gets eaten, and he might have been able to beat up the badger or at least survive it. But again, he was very weak. He hadn't eaten like a couple thousand years.
Yeah.
And
so we're gonna worship
that's what
the badger
Easter's all
instead.
about now. Yeah, it's about badger.
It's gonna be about the badger that ate God.
About the badger that I got.
Yeah. Welcome everybody to
Thanks,
Life in the World to Come. I mean,
I
thanks
said
everybody.
welcome.
Yeah, I said welcome.
Let's start over. Welcome
right.
everybody. Life in the world.
Welcome everybody to Life in the World to Come. I'm Will Wood,
And I'm tired, man.
and we're here to answer your questions about surviving the apocalypse.
All right, let's just get into it then.
All right, let's get into it. Let's just answer a couple questions. We just kept going.
We just kept going.
All right, do your fucking outro shit.
The ideal way to do that is do another full 2 hours and then peter out again and then do it again. And do that like 6 times.
That would be pretty fun.
Our intro and outro music is We Are the Hellhounds by the Taxpayers. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/lifeintheworldtocome.
132
you can support us on Jesus Christ, that's too much. You can support
there's more
us.
Bot activity in the Discord server.
Oh, fuck! God
Told
damn
you
it!
that place wasn't for humans.
Okay.
It's a drawing of a nose man.
Our intro and outro music is We Are the Hellhounds for the Taxpayers. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/lifeintheworld.com, or you can do that on Big Cartel. You buy our merch at lifeintheworld.com.bigcartel.com. You can send us a question, a sweet little question at lifeintheworld.com@gmail.com. That's all the stuff. All right, we done?
Yeah. Oh, are we done? I wasn't paying attention.
I said all the stuff.
Oh, okay. Then
All
we're
right.
done. All right,
Bye,
goodbye,
everybody.